At our August 13th council meeting, one of the first big items on the agenda was a decision to contribute city funding to the Inclusive Play Project, a community-led initiative to build Kingston's first fully accessible and fully inclusive playground. Now, the vision of this project is to create a playground that is accessible for both children and parents that might have physical disabilities and create an environment where kids of all different ages, backgrounds, and abilities can play together. Last night, Council heard from community members that $200,000 has already been raised towards the project. Last night, Council voted unanimously to contribute an additional $300,000 to cover the civil site works for the playground. The hope is that this will open the door to a contribution from Canadian Tire's Jumpstart program. And once the entire $1.5 million cost of the project is covered, construction can begin, hopefully as early as 2026. Last night, Council also had an extended debate and discussion over a staff recommendation to expand the urban boundary to bring in an additional 340 hectares of land into the city for new housing growth. Now, given the high population growth that we're seeing now and is projected into the future, last night Council was presented with an analysis showing where that housing growth could go over the next 2 to 3 decades. Now, the majority of that housing growth is still expected to happen within the existing urban boundary, but there was also recognition about the need for a broad range of housing options, some of which can only be built on land that is currently outside of the boundary. At one point, there was a move to defer any expansion of the urban boundary for a 3-year period, but in the end, Council voted 12-1 to move ahead with that work now, recognizing the urgent need for an adequate supply of housing. At the same time, Council restated its desire to make sure that any new developments on these lands would be transit-oriented and environmentally sustainable as possible. And finally, last night, Council approved a new 25-story apartment building at the corner of Barrack Street and Wellington Street, across from the Food Basics grocery store in the downtown core. Now, Council agreed with a recommendation from the city's planning staff that it made sense to create a cluster of taller buildings in the North Block area, near to the 23-story building currently under construction at the corner of Queen and Ontario, and near the city-owned property that will be the future location of a new hotel and conference centre. The hope is that developments like this will bring more residents into the downtown, which will help to sustain small businesses, shops, and restaurants in the downtown core.